Okay. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, have a seat. Come on in if you're here and have a seat. It is Relationship Recap. I'm your girl, Christal Jordan. And you guys know my co-host for tonight is usually in pajamas. I am not in pajamas tonight. I am feeling good. I'm feeling like I need to be out on the town, but not really because I'm not into that. I'm into sharing my Friday nights with you guys right here on YouTube, and I believe he is too. Let me go ahead and bring my co-host Scorpio Moe in. Scorpio Moe, what's good?
What's that?
What is that you got there?
Oh, it's nothing.
I know what that is.
What's happening?
I know what that is. My cousin brought those in. I know what that is. But anyway,
Happy Friday, people.
I feel good. I feel good. We had a good we had a great Wednesday.
We did.
We had a great Wednesday, and I'm looking for my book because I want to. You know what? It's right here. I've got my pink floof here, and I want to make sure that every time we do this, because I don't do a good job at advertising my stuff. I do a horrible job at it. So I want to remind all the women, if you are watching this show, if you are not a subscriber and you're just here, lurking, see, Mo and I both have a copy. Make sure you get your copy of Dear Alpha Female. It's not him, it's you. Now, the thing about this book, a lot of the things that we talked about on Wednesday, I covered in this book. I have another copy, another edition that's coming out, like the part 2 of this book that's about flirting. But I think really, the problem, in my opinion, with a lot of us is that we don't believe that we're deserving, right? We don't believe that we're deserving. And our amazing guest, Cortia Bingham. If you weren't here on Wednesday, please go back and watch that show. She just dropped some gems, unapologetic gems. I actually chatted with her via email, and she invited me to Jamaica. I'm definitely heading to Jamaica January 2025. I'll have more information on that, but I accepted the invitation, and I'm ready to go down there. My girlfriend and I hopefully are going to go. And hopefully any of you that want to go to Jamaica, let's make it an XO family thing, but I'm excited to do that. Really want to empower and uplift women. And yeah, we do a little kikiing. That's what this show is about. But we also, at the base of it, it's really about finding our worth so we can become our best selves, right?
I like that.
Absolutely. Now, today we got to get into our usual. This is our Friday night conversation. We talk about love and marriage, Detroit. But before we do that, I feel like we would be remiss, Scorpio. No, I know that I talk about pop culture on Mondays, but unfortunately, pop culture is overpowering everything with the situation happening. And so I wanted to give my quick summary of what I'm taking out of all this stuff that we see consistently in the news on Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Puff, aka Love. Can you think of any other nicknames I've left out?
Yes, Baby Oil Sean.
The purveyor of baby oil. No, seriously, and this really has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with women and a lot of the things I talked about in this book. I know a lot of women that say they want a man, right? They say they want a man. They want to be with somebody that's fly. They want to be with somebody that has money. They want to be with somebody that's the that can make them popular and can put you on and make you that hot girl and that popping girl. And there were obviously a lot of people that were in that space. I'm not, this is not to point fingers at anybody. I don't think that we are supposed to rejoice or even enjoy or be entertained by people's downfall. That's disgusting. But what I will say is that I would suggest all of you, the women, that their primary goal is to be with a man that has money and is around money. You may want to rethink your list. You may want to rethink your list, because a lot of times what you think you want is not really what you want. A lot of times you have no idea what those women are sacrificing in order to be in that position with that dude who's fly, who's in the section, who's buying bottles, who got other guys around his partying. And I don't even mean to the extent of Diddy.
Yeah.
I just mean this should give us a different perspective as women to what we are saying that we want. Because unless you know what that woman is dealing with, who is in that position, a lot of times you are focused on what you can get from the external and not what the internal would be. And so I just want us to take a moment, and as we're looking at things and we're wishing and we're hoping and praying and outlining and writing down a list of what we want in a man, I think there's nothing wrong with wanting a man that can provide. But a lot of times when your desires and your wants end up being more about the materialistic things and less about the character, you're going to find yourself in trouble.
And I think a lot of times with men expressing themselves about all y'all do is one is money. We get the money part, but it's like what you just said. It's like that, but we didn't hear anything else about the character of the persons, that kind of thing. Everybody gets the money thing. Like, you know what I mean? We get that part. But when that's all that's mentioned, or that's the first thing that's mentioned, or that kind of thing. So you're right. And I will also say, like, you and I have always had conversations about men and saying they want this bad chick and a dime and all of these things, until some of them get it, and then the guys that do get it, sometimes we don't know what comes with that. Are you built to deal with what comes with that? And then you ready to do something to yourself because you're not prepared for the NBA players in the DM. Like, it's a lot of stuff that comes with that, and you think you want it until you start dealing with it. And I've seen people just be like, yo, I can't. Like, they're not really able to handle with that. What is that thing tapering at the bottom? What is that? That's you?
Is get your copy of the best-selling book, Dear Alpha Female. It's not him, it's you, via Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, etc.
No, you can get it to come to your house, y'all.
You could get it to come to your house.
There you go.
Get it to come to your house. And you know what? Then you can get it, and you can read, and you can come back and share. But I think, I agree. I think it goes both ways. I think that there are men that don't know what it feels like, what it really would feel like. I've laughed many times as men have asked me to hook them up with, one of my friends, and I know that that's not what they really want, but they say it. And then when I bring her around, then they're like, oh, they don't know what to say, and they're uncomfortable. But
that pressure, when they be like, it's pressure, they don't mean just the look of it. It's a lot. The
reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the same thing. I had a woman tell me that my husband was good looking, and therefore I should not bring him around my friends or other women. To which I replied, my mother, Jacqueline Jordan, taught me, if you can get him, you can have him. So if that man is not here for me, and he can be swayed by a beautiful friend, because I have a lot of beautiful friends, I know a lot of beautiful women, I am not going to hide my husband from them. If he needs to be hid, he doesn't need to be mine. So, that's how I feel about it. So I feel like there are women who feel that way. I've heard women say, well, I've even heard women say, because my husband is like my dress up doll. Like I think he's adorable. And so I like to like get clothes on him so he looks cute. And I'll be like, okay, baby, you look good. You look good. You know, he put on his little joggers and they sit right. And I like it. And I've had girlfriends say, don't do that because you're going to send him out looking like that. Child, I don't have time to be worried about that. I married the wrong man if I married somebody that, you know, I can't dress up.
But at the same time, you say that, we say that, and then yeah, he could go out here, but he can't work here. I'm like, well, what's the difference then?
Oh well, for me, I don't know about anybody. I'm not into the promoters because I don't want your livelihood dependent on you being in women's faces. That's disgusting to me. Right. But as far as any other job, yes. But if your job, if every day you got to come home and tell me that in order to make money for our home, it depends on how many girls. Nah, I'm good on that.
But I mean, the same guy gets the same attention that's the security at the front.
It's not about the attention. I don't care about the attention. I care about the fact that we got to depend on other women to pay our bills. Like that's lame to me. And that's not everybody. That's
I don't know how many women pay the bill. I know guys spend way more than women do. But you got to pay the women to show up for the guys to spend the money. So I get it.
Yeah, I don't care. I just don't like that. I feel, to me, this is just Christal. No shade. Because I have a lot of friends that are promoters, right? No disrespect to them. I have actually 2 really good friends that are promoters. To me, that is a job that has an age limit.
Well, it depends on what they're promoting, but yeah.
No, it's to me. I don't give a damn. I don't care what they're promoting. To me, it has an age limit. To me, to someone else, you could be a promoter till you croak over and die, right? But to me, a 50-year-old person hanging out at the club trying to make sure everybody's good in their section, it's lame.
What about a concert promoter?
Lame. At 50, 35.
He could be promoting someone that's on stage that's 70. It's an older crowd.
I'm just saying, to me.
No, I got you. I'm just trying to see if
I don't like none of it. Promoting in your 50s and 60s, to me, you should be the person that owns the company and other little young people are out there promoting. Now, I'm not saying nothing. 50 Cent is not a promoter. That's a whole different story. He's a businessman, right? Now, if you own a promotions company and you're never there, you own the bill. Like there's a guy here that was a big promoter, and now he owns several venues. I love it. It's sexy.
He don't even do clubs. He do concerts. He don't even do clubs no more.
But he owns something. But if your money is contingent, because I know I've worked in entertainment, I know how shaky that is.
Right.
I don't have time for us to not be able to make moves because people were into a different club. I don't want that. And like I said, I don't desire to be with someone that wants to be in a club every other night.
Right.
At this point in my life, at 35, baby, get your money. Like I dated some.
If he's 50, he should be asking himself the same question.
At 50, he needs to own something. He should have figured out, like, because I can only imagine, like I've been a publicist, so I've been around, I know a lot of promoters. That's not an older man's game. The young guys got more energy. They want it. Anyway, that's not what tonight is about. Tonight is about Love and Marriage Detroit. We have moved into, I think this is like the 3rd episode that we're on. But you know what? Before we do that, I wanted to do this. We got sidetracked with I don't know how I got on the promoters, but
oh no.
Godspeed to all the promoters that are out there. I love you. I just, everything is not for everybody. But I wanted to do this. I wanted to ask, I was going to ask you, what is your favorite feel good song? Like, what song do you can you put on and automatically it puts you in a good mood? You guys, please let us know in the chat. What is your go-to number 1 favorite feel good song?
Number 1 go-to is Bill Withers' Lovely Day.
Nice. Okay.
Cannot be mad. It always feels good. It's just, yes, Lovely Day, Bill Withers. And I was gonna say somebody else, but I didn't want you to laugh.
No, I mean you
So
gotta
Bill,
laugh at mine.
my number two, but Bill Withers my number one for sure. Lovely Day. What is yours?
Okay, mine, you're gonna laugh, and it's okay. But before I say this, I want to let you guys know. You know, my daughter's a DJ. She's actually DJing tonight, and I sent this song to her, and I told her, I said, "Now, Chanel, when you get them parties with the aunties, you know, like your mama's age, you put this song on, they're gonna be like, where'd she find that? What she know about that?" Number one feel good song. Now there's a few of them, but right now it's "Jam Tonight" by Freddie Jackson.
Really? Okay. It's your song. It's your
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm telling you. I wish I could play a little, but YouTube will stop me.
I didn't see that coming, but okay.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't, but I'm telling you, when you listen to it, I tell you what,
I can hear it in my head. I can hear it.
you put it on at the house in those pajamas, and you're gonna have a good time.
It's gonna be an older woman about 65 knocking on my door about 10 minutes.
Hey, it's a good song.
No, it is.
It's a good song. My number two, you guys, my number two. I'm seeing some good things. I see "Rock with You" by Michael Jackson, definitely a good song.
Like that.
"Back in Love Again." Okay, "Happy" by Pharrell.
Whoever said that is, yeah.
Someone said Teddy's Jam. Hey, you 703. Okay. I think I want to start dancing, but you know what? I would say also my number two is "You Send Me Swinging" by Mint Condition.
Okay, 90s. Okay.
Yeah, I love
Like
it.
I say, Love on Top. Yes,
I thought you were going to say number one because I thought your number one was going to be "Love on Top" because I remember, guys, I was riding in the car with Mo and "Love on Top" came on, and I believe he started to dance a little ditty. He just started like shut.
Whoa. I don't recall that part. Whoa. I don't recall that.
Together, love on top. And the other one I love.
It feels like spring to me. I don't care what y'all say.
No. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. It's good. It is a feel-good song. It feels good.
I want my love on top. Why not?
I want my love on top as well. But the funny thing is, you started to just do a little jig, and I was like, okay, well, good to do it then.
It made me feel good, damn
it. Jehu said, "Sade, nothing can come between us." I love Sade, but Sade makes me feel relaxed. Not like if I'm Sade is relaxing. Like I want to put on some candles and lay down and get in the tub.
That's a wine. Yes.
Yeah, but like when I'm cleaning the house on a Saturday, I want to hear "You Send Me Swing," like, and then I wait for like the horns. I want to hear the music that lifts my spirit. And so "Feel All Right" by Erica Kim. Okay. I don't know about the "Shoulder Lean." I saw that earlier in the chat.
What?
I don't know.
How old are you?
Everybody has their thing.
Hey, that's your okay.
Everybody has their thing. You guys keep them coming.
Somebody said,
what is your favorite feel-good song? If you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and share. You guys are not sharing on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, you need to know what is your feel-good songs? Come on. What are your feel-good songs? What makes you feel good when you're in the house? Maybe raining outside, and you just need to lift your spirits. Not talking about a romantic song.
Well,
we're talking about you.
From Tina Marie.
Who?
Square Biz, Tina Marie.
Oh yeah. You gotta feel good.
Yeah.
You feel a little jazzy when you hear that.
I definitely do, yes. As long as I don't got the jazz hands, we good. But yes, I do.
Someone said there's arthritis in that shoulder. Maybe. I don't know about it yet, but I don't know. I hope not. I guess if I was saying I had arthritis in my shoulder, I don't think so. But hey.
Man, we ain't listening to Nat King Cole. We talking about upbeat, man.
But if I was listening to Nat King Cole, my favorite song would be "You Are So Beautiful."
I don't think I know that one.
I'm cleaning it now. I'm in the shoulder leaning it. I love the shoulder lean, but that ain't the song. Now,
What?
if I'm getting ready to go out, maybe, maybe. I do have a difference of the songs for going out when I'm trying to get, trying to get my swag on.
I got one when I'm about to catch a date.
What is that one?
I listen to the whole Jodeci Forever My Lady. If you hear me in that and I'm in the bathroom, I got a hot date. Shaving, I'm in the shower.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, but I know them all. This is my favorite group. Yes.
That is hilarious. Okay, see, if I'm going on a date, I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on me. I've got on Beyonce probably.
Okay.
I'm a diva. I just, I'm trying to get sexy as possible, and I'm not really focusing on the love. If I'm getting ready for a date. Now if I'm already in the relationship, then we're going out together, then that's different. I don't know. But in any case, I just wanted to share what was people's okay, back that ass up is not a feeling.
Come on. What are we doing? Because if you're saying that, I'm wondering why you're here on a Friday night at 10 o'clock.
If you're saying that, you should be out looking over your shoulder.
Come on, man.
That's the look. Every girl in the club is like this. It's that anyway. Love and Marriage Detroit.
Yes.
Marriage Detroit. Okay, let's start. I want to play a clip. I think that I want to start with Colby and her pregnancy and the fact that she's having a hard time with her pregnancy. I want to start back start there because we talked a little bit about that last week.
Right.
But we see that she still is struggling. I did appreciate the fact that some of the other cast members were a little bit more sensitive to her than her husband. But I think that, Colby and Christina are both influencers, right?
Okay.
And I'm wondering, I saw this, there's a digital clip on that I'm getting ready to play in a minute. But I'm wondering, like, is the goal of influencers to make money, or is it just to be pretty? It's just to be seen? Because she was having a conversation with her mom, and we know that she's not necessarily happy about being pregnant. She mentioned that she's not able to work as much as she wanted to, and she's upset about that. And then she said that Russell does not fund her influencer business. So she has an assistant and she has a photographer to create content. So she doesn't have the money to pay them if she's not working. And I wondered, and so I see people saying, I think money is a big motivator. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like the bigger motivator is to be seen and to have pretty pictures, right? And to say, I'm an influencer, but it actually takes more money to influence than you actually make from the influencing, because if not, then she wouldn't have to worry about paying her assistant and paying for the photographer and all that, because it would pay for itself.
Yeah, so that's when that question, well, how successful are you if you're big? Because it really does.
Well, I wonder, like, any of them, because I don't think she's the only person. I want to say, I'm just going to be very honest and candid, as I always do on my channel. For me, because I don't consider myself an influencer at all. I'm a journalist and a writer, and I have, host this on YouTube, but I don't see myself as like a blogger. But I will say that this does not pay for itself, right? Because if it did, then you guys know I would be way further ahead, because I would have some amazing pictures. I would have great JPEGs. I would have, a channel that looked a lot different, but it costs to do that, right? And so I do not believe in taking money to pay for something that's not paying for itself. So what you should be able to do is use the money that you earn to pay to
Absolutely.
improve, right? But what I see is a lot of young people that are spending money and trying to look a certain way when that job really doesn't. You would not go work a 9 to 5 if you had to pay to work it. Now, I do admire the spirit of entrepreneurship because I have it myself. But I just think listening to this clip, I was a little concerned about something that we call priorities. And specifically because both of these young ladies, um, I just don't know if it's really like working the way they want us to believe it's working. So let's watch this clip and then let's talk a little bit after.
Because all the things that I'm doing, it's I'm funding. Russell's not funding this. So it's like if I don't work to fund having Lauren assist me, to fund having a photographer, to fund having a team for my content, then it won't get paid for. So I don't know, what do you think? Like, what's your perspective of that?
First of all, I just think that you have to prioritize yourself, figure out what's important, what's a necessity, what can wait, and putting things in perspective as far as should I do it, but should I do it now? You have to put your health a priority, especially if the doctor is suggesting it, you have your assistant suggesting it, take some time off. And so I think you need to learn on working on your priorities, especially since the baby only have a few more months.
So that clip made it clear to me that, she's not bringing in more than she's spending on things. Now, I do think that you have to invest in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and you have to invest in yourself. But I just think that this culture of showing people how good I look, I just don't know if this is a job. I don't know, if it's really a job. And people say, well, oh, all those influencers get paid big bucks. And I know some of them. I never heard of Shelby or Christina before the show.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do know a lot of influencers or people that's what they do for a job. We know one. I won't name any names, but I do think that it's not as many companies paying big bucks for these jobs as people are led to believe. I believe that more of them are spending money and trying to promote a look that is not realistic, or in line with what they're able to make with their social media platforms. I think that you probably, yeah. So Joda mentioned being a top-notch influencer takes time and money, like Jackie Aina, but she also has been doing this way before it became cool, right? Way before it became popular. So the trendsetters, the people that are able to ride the wave, have been doing this for a long time. The problem is a lot of young people feel like influencer is an attainable something that they want to shoot for. And I don't think they really understand that it doesn't necessarily pay. And after a while, with it being, there's an influx of very pretty girls. Now, Kobe is gorgeous. It's funny because she looks so much better without her makeup.
Bingo.
Say it again.
The bingo.
But it's funny because my cousin came here and my cousin just left from visiting me. And he was like, "Cuz, why you put the makeup on? Like, I don't understand why you put the makeup on." Just I said, I am not getting online. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I am not getting online with no makeup. And he was like, I think you should. But it's just funny how men and women think differently when they actually really care about somebody. Now, my cousin really loves me, so he probably says that. But so hey, you 7 her 3. Are you saying that Colby has been doing this for 10 plus years, or Jackie Aina? Jackie, I know has. I don't know about Colby. But it definitely is. It's so when you're pregnant, her mother mentioned priorities, and I just thought Okay, yeah, Jackie. Definitely Jackie. I did a conference with her with Disney earlier, and she's definitely at this point it's different. It's not even like it's beyond influences. She's a a brand. But there's an influx of people like Colby and Christina that want to get to that point, but I just don't know. What do you think about that?
Um, I've never heard of these women prior to this.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff in my feed from a lot of these women that I see and come. I never ran across them, and it's a lot of even in the beginning. It doesn't even start off money.
Uh-uh.
You know, um, even when you get the buzz, it starts off with people really just giving you things. And
That's what I
hope
was gonna say. If you're getting clothes donated to you, that's not paying your bills.
that don't pay your bill. So that's how it starts off. Then it turns into, and it's a process, and some people get it faster than others, so on and so forth. And then a lot of it does depend where you live, because if you see
Mhm.
influencers, they wind up coming and they got a little buzz. They all want to come to these bigger markets.
Right, right.
So when they have these things, but the priorities, like you said, even if it's some, you know, your job and you could spin it towards showing your pregnancy. I don't know what type of influencer she is.
I
I don't
think they are mommy or lifestyle
know.
mommy influences the lifestyle, and I'm sure it's doing well. I just think hearing her say that if I don't have the money to pay my assistant, and I know because when you're making the money and you're paying it out, you're not really moving forward. You can do that because you have a husband that provides. Shouts out to Russell. But I just don't know. I just worry about so many young girls wanting to just be, my goal in life is to be an influencer.
Let me ask you this: do you think it is it be, some of it is because of the attention the other women are getting? If they were getting attention from, like, I meant when the whole dancer phase was going on. I mean, exotic dancers
Hmm. Hmm.
thing, and it seemed like, just from a man looking from the outside looking in, that's where the attention was going. So that's what I want to do. But then
Yeah.
switched, and now the attention is the influencers and so on and so forth. And is it that kind of thing? So it can be anything. It's this: who's getting the most attention, or what occupation, or what stuff that's easy, and especially if they think all they have to do is look pretty.
I think that social media has made people feel like there's a shortcut to becoming a celebrity.
Okay.
And I feel like I can be popular. I think, when you go to high school and junior high and high school, everyone's goal is to be one of the popular kids. And I think Instagram has made it to where, you can be popular as an adult, and people are trying to be popular and trying to seek validation from others. And I think that's a really hard, that's a bad road, you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of it is because, they're pretty. And I think girls feel like if they're pretty, they should be able to get a lot of attention. And I do see it work. I know a mommy influencer. I've known her for years, her and her sister, and she's a beautiful girl. I mean, part of it is she's very pretty, right? But I just don't know that the end justifies the means all the time. And I do think, to Sunny Rain's point, a lot of people are just relying on being pretty,
Mm.
because it's like, what do you have that, what are you doing? What skill set are you using? If everything that you're doing is all about you posing, basically, I'm just trying to be a model. I'm trying to be a model on Instagram that is very popular. That is the definition of influencer.
Or could they really, like, I don't know how much that she can influence. Like, to me, if you can't have some type of influence on your circle, then what makes you see what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
that could be tricky because I don't think you ever have influence on your circle. Like,
well, I
I
mean,
think the majority of people that watch this channel are not like my close friends. They probably pop in from time to time, but those of you that we see every night, every other night when we're here, they're not my person. I don't know them personally. I met them on here.
right. But what I mean is, like, if you're um if there's a group of women And in every group of women, I've always seen one girl that comes off as the leader. She might not, it might even want that, but she comes off. If she say we're going to there, the rest of the women follow. I've seen that in every group of women. And I usually had the leader. Just put. But so that to me, that's what starts. It's like the guy, if you want a record label, and they say, well, you know, you want to get a record deal, it's like, yo, are you popping in your hometown? That kind of thing. So when I see that, and it's like I said, I don't know, she might be popular in Detroit.
I'm pretty sure they're popular in Detroit.
You know, kind of like Melanie in Huntsville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If she stop this and be an influencer, she can.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. That
you see them,
right?
As the people in the melatonin, what they call
it? Melometers,
and you know, that kind of thing, and just being. I mean, it's little stuff. You'll be surprised who follows who. You'd be like, wow, or how you influence your friends and you didn't even know. When I was, ain't none of my friends smoke cigars. None of them. I started 2014 and I seen them all pick it up and I seen them all put it down. But they picked it up because they, and I don't sound like I'm tooting my own horn, no shit like that. I'm just saying, I seen them do it because they seen me do it. And they wasn't really into it, but because they put it down and it's cool.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if they see something, if they admire something, you'd be like, yo, I want to try that. And I think that's what an influencer does. That's why the people want to give them the clothes, because they feel like you got X amount of followers, you look nice, women want to look nice, I want to be like her. And so they'll follow it. I'm assuming that's how it goes. No?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's just, I don't know. I think it's a little bit more than, to me, it's a little bit more than that, because at a certain point, like, I guess there are more followers than not, right? Like the world is made up of a lot of followers. But I just feel like if you're for a job, like, it's one thing, and I will say this about what you just said about the friends. If you're dating a girl and she seems like the leader, that is because you're experiencing those girls through her, right? So you're not experiencing them through
the other friends.
Hold on. 459. I'm trying to pull this clip up. If you were dating the other friends, you may think that one was the leader, because then you would have the experience through her. You know, when you're whatever you experience, however you experience the situation is that, because those other friends got other friends, got other friends.
I dated a follower, and she always listened when the big homie call.
Not the big homie.
I'll be like, yo, what? And it's usually the girl. It's like the popular girl. What's it? Mean Girls? That's the movie.
Yeah.
Saying it's always one, and they all spend the night at her house. Whatever she say is cool. She got the popular jock. This is what it is.
I mean, I do remember that in not as an adult.
Hey,
in high school, but not as an adult.
It's not as strong, but I still see. I'm telling you.
I mean, it could be. Y'all let me know if y'all think. I can't, for some reason, it's not coming through. I was trying to show the picture. I pulled up her Instagram page.
What's the name? Okay.
Yeah, but some reason it won't come through. It's Colby Chantel. There she is there.
Y'all go.
Colby Chantel. She's a gorgeous girl. She has 76,000 followers. There are a lot of pictures of her just being pretty.
After, you know how I feel about that sometimes.
So I don't know. I mean, but she's a gorgeous girl. I just don't know. I just wish that we were. We'll move on from this, but I just wish that we were giving young women had more aspirations than just to be social media models, right? For a brand, like, you know, maybe sell your own brand. Like, I give much kudos to Stormy Steele on Love and Marriage Huntsville, because Stormy is influence you to buy her products. Right now, that's dope because she's using them and she shows you doing her hair, but she's actually doing something, like just showing up. And being a model is a definitely a admirable job. But I just think that if Naomi Campbell, she got booked for a gig, if she had to spend more money on the gig than the gig, it just
And not only that, it's just not just Instagram.
right. I mean, right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Naomi Campbell was a real model, but
Right.
Instagram has made everybody feel like they
Hey,
can
like,
they can be a model, they can be a reality star, they can be popping, and all they have to do is be pretty. And unfortunately, we have taught women that that's all that's important. And so when they are pretty and they're celebrated because of that, they just think I shouldn't have to work. I should just be able to show up and be pretty.
that part.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, she's a mom. I just it's hard to hear. And I think that she's going through a time, but for her, trying to figure out how to pay an assistant and people take pictures of her while she's pregnant and using that money for that's rough. And I hope that she's able to prioritize, as her mom said, and figure out what makes sense for her.
Ask you this: how do you feel? I mean, because obviously she's still going through having the girl thing, right?
Yeah.
And now it just seems like the energy is like, well, we'll from him, not from her. Well, even her friend, we'll try again. Well, you could try again. And it's like, this woman didn't really want this situation.
I don't think they should try again. I think they should stop, because if they try again, as unhappy as she is now,
thank you.
If they try again, and that's the thing. I mean, you got to understand, having a baby is not like pulling a ticket.
Right.
Once you get what you get, and don't throw a fit. Like, you get what you get. You can't just keep going until you get something that you want. You may not get it. Right. And I just worry about her being extremely unhappy.
Yeah.
Doesn't get a boy,
And for this man, we'll try again. It's like, this woman's going to start to resent you, B. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about that.
I agree. I think that he kind of was dismissive to her concerns, and I think that's a problem. I do think that he's trying to be a good man, but I think he is a bit dismissive, and he probably he's not validating her emotions. But what men have to understand is women are emotional, and men are too, but women, their emotions are a bigger part of their decision making often, not everybody. But so he has to you can't just dismiss her emotions, and how she feels. Postpartum is also a really big thing. I think there are a lot of women that deal with postpartum depression, and it seems like she's having that while she's pregnant. She's dealing with a little bit of depression and not being happy with where she is. I think that's very common, specifically in today's culture, because women are supposed to be, I mean, when you think about it, it's unfair and it's ridiculous. Women are supposed to have children, pop the children out, and be snatched right immediately after. Get a mommy makeover, keep it popping, look good, go back to looking perfect, have your kids look fashionable. Like, it's ridiculous.
I see. I hate to say this, I blame women for that.
How?
Pressure on other women, because I don't hear guys having that conversation. I hear.
I vehemently disagree. You hear men.
Girl,
I don't agree at all. Men,
right back. I never heard a guy like even compliment. Oh, you snap right back. I think guys, don't mind seeing it, and eventually he knows he will want it to. But I think the pressure comes because this woman did it. Now, can you do it? That's what I mean.
I disagree, and that's unfortunate that men are taught that. It's unfortunate that men have been it's unfortunate that men have been conditioned to believe that. But the reality is, there are so many men. I actually had a girlfriend who was very beautiful. You know her. And she got divorced, and her husband would tell her how unattractive she was and try to read the calories on the food that she would buy while she was pregnant. There have been men that have cheated on their woman while she was pregnant.
I thought this was after the pregnancy.
No, I don't know if you're thinking about the same friend, but well,
No, I'm saying in general. You said the
you
snap
just said that men don't expect women to snap back, and I'm telling you they do.
during the pregnancy. I'm just confused. We expect them to get big during the pregnancy, right?
He was trying to keep her from getting too big so she wouldn't have to get small. She wouldn't have too big of a I guess row to go after she had the baby.
But I don't know about that part. I'm just saying
I'm telling you why women are doing it. I don't understand, and I understand this is just men's think versus women think, but women, no wives. If you're married to a husband, you are concerned about what that man thinks. There are so many men that I've even read something on social media from here of men that have said they are not attracted to their wives after she gave birth. That is not something that women are doing to women. Women are trying to make sure they stay attractive because based on men's behavior consistently suggests that what they're attracted to is their priority and this is what they like. If I am pregnant and my husband is liking pictures of girls with tiny waists and big behinds, I feel bad about myself because I've got stretch marks. I'm doing it. Why do you think women are getting all these surgeries to look like they snatched back right after they had the baby? It's disgusting. And it's not for other women. If the woman is having a child at one point, now I know there are women that have children and go to other women, but at this point, she's a heterosexual woman that wants her man to be attracted to her. Right. There are constantly men saying that. So I don't know what rock you've been under.
No, I said I never heard a man in person to another man say that after she was pregnant, Dad, I wish she snapped back. That's what I said. That's
but men may not have those conversations with other men, but they definitely have them with women.
Yeah, and I think that's wrong. I just said I never heard a man tell me or say to another man about that. That's number one. And number two, you was like, women are concerned what men think. Is that the only time they're concerned what men think about how they look, or about
pretty much? Because that's what I mean. That's all we constantly hear. We've had this.
No. I'm talking about complains about it, or is that the only one that matters is based on how she looks? Because you was like, men always complain, and women want to change that. But what about the other laundry list of stuff that he might complain about? But it was, and that she wants to get something done about that. But what about the other stuff getting done?
We're not talking about the other stuff. All we're talking about is pregnancy and how women look.
Look.
Pretty much, because that's all he's going after with other women.
Okay.
I don't hear men say, you know what? I sure do like her support. I sure do appreciate her. Nobody says that. They look fine.
I heard it.
I've never heard a man tell a woman, I sure do appreciate the way she supports. Women here, she's fine. Damn, that looks good. And you want your husband to always be attracted to you. I'm just saying, what I wish we could get rid of is the idea that women are doing it for other women. Women are doing it for men. Just like I would never say that men are, as much as sometimes men can seem very competitive. I know I'm wise enough to know all that going back and forth is for the attention of women. Same reason, women, all that going back and forth is to get the man. I want to look better than her so I can get more men, not so I can get women.
But what I'm saying is half the stuff, like you just talked about the makeup. How many men come up to you and say your face is beat? Is it men or women?
I don't. First of all,
not you, but how many men?
Nobody cares about the face is beat, and gay men do say that. But what you do see is men. If a man likes, and I should do a test, but they probably won't like mine because I'm older and I haven't made my life about doing that. But I know how to do that if I want to. So what I should do is put on a lot of makeup, get a fabulous weave, take the clothes off, and do like this, and see how many men like. If you like it, I don't care what you say, you liked it. And when another woman sees the like, she wants the like too. It's very simple. It's not complicated. You like it. We want to be liked. Just like when a woman sees a man with a lot of money, other men, I want to be liked, so let me go get the money. Like, it's very, very simple. My cousin, who loves me for me, says, "Cuz you don't need that all that makeup on." But that's not what any other men say, except the ones that know me and maybe.
With men, and we said this.
What?
We had panels here where it was all men, and most of the men said that same thing about hair and makeup.
You know what?
Men you invited on the show had said this.
I know, and most of those men were
all right.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, so if you go to a person's page, I'm not going to call any women out like that because I don't want them to catch a stray. But let's just say, why then do the women that wear all the makeup and have all the plastic surgery have all the likes? Like, y'all gonna have to make this make sense to us. Y'all keep saying stuff that don't make sense.
It's like the conversation we had. Men will play around with things, but and part of that is our fault. I mean, we can't walk up to every woman and explain it every time we like a post.
No, it isn't. It's not. It don't even matter to explain. Men like looking at it, but they don't want their woman to look that good because then they don't want people looking at their woman.
I like a Lamborghini, but I would never buy one. I like the way it looks, but I would never want to buy one. You get it now? That's what
I already get it. I'm just saying it still don't make any sense. I've been told this. I get it.
It's supposed to make sense to you. You're not a man.
Perfect. So what we do is not supposed to make sense to you either. No, ain't nobody getting no mommy makeover for a woman.
That's why we say it when you say it to a woman, it's about y'all because it doesn't make sense to us.
Well, then we all just keep on being clueless about it then. I'm just saying, men keep on being clueless, and we will too. Everybody stay at their respective corners. It doesn't make sense. Like, come on, we're not doing that for other women. Yes, if another woman says, "You look good, girl," all she's saying is, "Girl, you're gonna be able to get more guys with that." She's not saying, "Oh, you look good, let me get some of that." No.
We understand that part of it. That's not what we're saying when we say that.
We're not doing it for others. We're doing it to attract men, and it's not working because so many women, when they get pregnant, a lot of their number one concern is, will their husband still be attracted to them?
Gotcha.
And if you ask one woman that has gone through being pregnant, because your body changes, and men are not always very kind and understanding and caring when that process happens. A lot of them don't know how to express themselves, and they could be kind of assholes, right? Your body expands, it gets stretch marks, it looks different, you don't even recognize it. Snapping back is not all that easy, especially if you don't have money to go get a mommy makeover. But the reason that women feel like, I wrote an article on like why women have to be pregnant and sexy is ridiculous, but it is not for other women. It is for the admiration of men. Now, it's dysfunctional, and it's definitely dysfunctional, but it's because we still want to be viewed as sexy by men. I don't think most women are trying to be sexy to appeal to women. You're trying to be sexy and appeal to men. And because women are vocal about it, then men assume, oh, you're doing it for her.
No, because when we say what we do like, not what we point at or on our personal phones or whatever, but when we say what we do like or when we say what we don't like, a lot of that gets ignored.
Because it doesn't make sense. Because what you just said,
it's not supposed to make sense. If I like something,
you just ask me a question. If pay attention to what I say, not what's in my phone or my personal belongings. Dude, that is crazy talk. That is crazy talk.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't understand what women do amongst themselves, but I understand I'm not supposed to understand it.
But you keep trying to make me understand. You keep trying to make us understand it, and we don't want to. We don't want to. We don't. If Adrian, I know my husband, he likes pictures of Nia Long, and guess what? He really likes it. He really does. Now, does he want her over me? Probably not. Is he very excited and enjoy looking at her? Absolutely. End of story. End of story.
It don't mean he want her over you.
I don't know that. If I guess
You
what?
just
If I was looking at a bunch of men and lusting, I mean, and I'm not talking about Denzel because I see he's an older man. I'm just being silly. But if I was constantly looking and liking and lusting after other men, I don't think Andrea would appreciate that.
I got you.
And Sunny Rain said, Mo, you like delicious. Is she an all natural woman? Absolutely freaking not. There is nothing natural about her.
I would never want to be. That's
You would want to go out with her.
What?
You told me you would.
And first of all, I've seen the trailer of the new show. It's looking a lot different lately. Let's say that. But when I go out to hit, I mean, we gotta put it in context. I go out with a lot of women, do a lot of things. Don't mean I want to be with them. Hey, been there, done that.
Well, we let's get back to Love and Marriage Detroit. So Love and Marriage Detroit, goalpost move. But this is how men are. So but I do think that I think a lot of men don't understand that when a woman is pregnant, but some do, really good husbands do. But it can be very difficult for a woman to feel attractive when she's pregnant. Because she don't look nothing like none of the pictures that are being.
I think some of it, I think a lot of it is what you say. I think some of it is her feeling that way, and she's in the grocery store seeing other women, and she's internalizing that, and she's making it out to be something that it's not even on the man's mind.
She's comparing herself.
Yeah, but that's you put him in there. He probably's not even thinking about that sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we put things on ourselves because we're feeling insecure because we're not where we want to be, and we'll put that on our spouse. Oh, you see that he might not even been paying attention to that woman, and now he's got it. That's what happens a lot. And I'm not saying that's not a valid point. I'm just saying not every man's like that. Not every man's tripping on stretch marks. Not every man's tripping on we get it. Especially if we have mothers, younger siblings, and watched our mothers go through it, or had another baby. Like, we get more than you think we get. But because we're doing that and we're in the bed next to her and we're liking someone else's pics that's lit, or we happen to look at it, it's no different than you watching some big guy with his shirt off and your husband is not up to par, he ain't worked out or whatever. Like, you're not tripping. It's like, it's the same thing. God.
Adrian, he came for you. He came for you.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just not him.
I'm just kidding.
If you got
shots fired on gun bar.
If anybody's got a husband that used to play football, got a bed, but you like in this TV show or romance novel and this dude is on the cover, it does not mean that, like, come on, man, be serious. Like, y'all can have everything and just take a look and it means nothing, but a man does it, it's got to be more because you're not feeling where you want to be. Like, come on, man, stop.
It's not where they want to be. She's pregnant.
Right. I'm not, we're saying after the fact she wants to snap it, and it's not in the school.
Your body not, first of all, your body doesn't, it just, that's what y'all men are not women.
Supposed to get it.
But I'm trying to explain so that you stop saying stuff that is not true. It's not about her not being where she wants to be. And it's the fact that her body is going through different changes. And a woman's body, as much as we want to believe, because I'm not saying that, first of all, I'm not talking directly to you, because I don't think that you would do that. But I do think there are a lot of men that have little empathy or sympathy for a woman after she has her baby. There are a lot of men.
I know one in particular. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So for every you, there has to be a him.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I just don't want to put that on every man.
We're not. All this is general. But that's a fear. I'm just trying to get you to understand the fear that women have, which makes them go get mommy makeovers and try to be like Sierra pose and naked once they have their baby.
What, and just like you would say with anybody that would take a guy's money or be like, guys got to be smartest women out there, pick a better man then. Pick somebody that's not so superficial, and hopefully you can screen that out in the beginning that he's one of those dudes. I don't know how you can do it, but if you got somebody that really, really loves you, he don't care if you get this. Like I always told you, if I'm with a woman and she got big, I'm all fine with that.
You don't want to. That is well.
That's my problem. If she gets big and I'm still whatever, it's the journey. Just like if she got pregnant, if she got bit, I don't care after
You said get someone that's not superficial.
No, but what I mean is get someone that's not going to be like that, that has an understanding of how this thing works. Life. Maybe this person is immature. We got a friend. I'm not going to say his name, but his name is JJ is his initials. He will be on that type of time. He was on that type of time with the woman he was with. You know her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He is on that, like, he'll be hard on her from beginning to end.
Yeah.
First child, he's not, you know, but that's him. And she knew a lot of that in the beginning because he was like that with her before she was pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend that you know, very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
You saw her and her guy out, got them some alcohol. Gorgeous girl. And she was her ex-husband was so hateful to her after having her child. And like I said, would read off, you know, and it's just unfortunate. And that I'm not saying that all men are like that. And some women don't care. Some women are like, you know what, I'm having my baby. I ain't worried about him. But there are a lot of women that feel bad. I know I was one that was worried, and my ex-husband never made me feel no kind of way. But I just knew that men are attracted to a certain thing, and once you go through having that baby, your body is gonna act different. It's gonna act different. It's not gonna. You may be able to, you know, not eat for a day. Your stomach is flat when you're young. That ain't gonna happen once you have that baby. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not. So we're moving on. I apologize, FTL. I want to go to Anthony and Anthony's conversation. Anthony's conversation with Christina. Did you think that Anthony was being authentic and caring, or do you think that he ended up being a little bit messy?
That's a good question. It's messy. Yeah, I gotta go with messy. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta go with messy. Cause yeah, I'm going with messy. I'm trying not to, because I think everybody, like, what season is this?
This is season 2.
Yeah, because a lot of them, even the conversations seem forced in the beginning. Like, it seems like they're acting. It feels that way.
Yeah, I agree with God's design. I agree with God's design. Like, I think it didn't seem necessarily messy with Christina. She, on the other, seem all about the messiness. Like,
yeah,
she ain't even open to doing anything but. And the thing about it, I want to like Christina. I feel like she has all these walls up. Why does she have so many walls up? It seems like she just is ready for a fight all the time.
Even when they're talking, it's like when somebody, can people tell? This is how I think you can tell when people really don't want to work things out.
Yeah.
The olive branch, extended out, that all they got is excuses.
Yeah.
Nothing to, like, that you could tell they're not looking for a solution. They just keep bringing up the problem. And those people, I've learned that in dealing with people, I was like, oh, you really don't want it. And then I'm done. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. But Mary also, the whole cast seems like that. I think because I felt like she didn't come open. She came basically accusing Anthony's wife of bringing her friend Kimberly, and Kimberly I feel like showed up ready to be messy so she could stay on the show.
There you go.
I wonder if Christina is messy because, like God's design said, she is having serious issues at home and doesn't trust that circle with her heart. Maybe. But I also feel like even when her and Brandon are on a good place, she's still messy with the other girls, though. She just seems like she wants everybody to. I think that she would do better in a friend group that she is the most popular, most pretty. It's hard. It seems difficult for her because a lot of the other girls, they're on equal playing ground, and that doesn't feel comfortable for her. I don't like it. I just want, it's no reason that she should be at odds, especially because the fights are very trivial. Like if they're doing this for TV, they need to come up with some different arguments.
Let me ask you this. When has a man ever brought two women together to get them to work it out? That never happens.
That never works.
At doing it than a man. I've never seen that work.
Because a man doesn't understand the intricacies that are going on, the nuances in the situation. That date, that double date where they all put on those balloon suits.
Yeah, right.
That did not help anything.
I don't think that was a good time to let that do that, and then y'all go y'all separate ways and like build but don't force them to like. I don't think they should have talked afterwards. They should have gotten their cars and went home and leave it on a good note.
On a good note.
Why push it?
Yeah, it didn't feel. I want to find, where can we do that here in Atlanta?
They got that and something else in that building too. They got a few things. I'm gonna find it.
I want to do that. That looks fun. That looked really fun. But I agree, they should have talked today. I just don't think it was ready for that. Christina and Brandon are not in a good place. So it doesn't make sense for them to even be around other people until they're in a better place.
He's still out the house, correct?
Yeah, and then they asked the kids. This is another thing I did not like. They asked the kids, what do you want? They said they want daddy to come home. Don't put them baby girls in there like that. Of course, they're going to say they want their dad to come home. And then if daddy doesn't come home, they're going to feel bad because they're going to feel like we asked daddy to come home. We want him to come home and he didn't. Like, that was not good.
That's a good point.
I did not like that at all. I don't think Brandon really wants to be married to Christina.
See, here's the thing. When they were talking, right? So when he initially was with her, was he going to church?
She said that he was going to church more often. What I feel happened, and you and I have talked about this, is that he was super excited about Christina because he said he saw her picture. She was pretty. So he probably said everything she wanted to hear,
right, and
did everything that she wanted to hear until the reality of it set in. And he could not keep up the charade. The reality of it is Brandon is not someone that ever seems like he had a close relationship with God. No, that was always Christina. She's a pastor's kid, and she focused on what she wanted. And he became that because he wanted her. And then as soon as things got real, he doesn't want to. This is my problem. And I want you to answer this. He has a problem with the fact that he doesn't want to lead. If you don't want to lead, that says you don't want to be a husband.
Basically.
He said being a leader is just a lie and I wasn't ready for this. Y'all been together 11 years.
You just figured
out that you don't want to be a leader? I think he just doesn't. I feel like, and I could be wrong, like I said, I'm going to let you talk. Because I feel like if a man loves his woman, he's been married, they have 2 children for 11 years, he's going to say, I might not have been ready for this, but I'm going to figure this out for my family. That's what everybody keeps trying to get him to do. For Russell and Anthony, he's not doing it. What is that?
Your one, he was never there. She, and this is me not putting it on her. Because when a man is truly motivated by being with a woman or to be with a woman, he will do everything. He'll work 2 or 3 jobs if he knows that woman is solid and behind him. I don't care what and I believe she is. I just believe he's just not built that way. He's just not there. And you can't make yourself, even if it looks right on paper, you have to feel it in yourself. And he doesn't, for whatever reason. He might not even be built like that.
I don't think you're like that.
Age 11 years, bro. Come on, man. And come on, man. You just now saying this? You've been felt this way. You've been
felt this way.
You've been faking this.
I don't even think he's been faking. I think he's just been checked out. He been checked out.
Still that long?
He did say, Monica brought up a good point. He said he married her so he could sleep with her. So when they first met, she didn't want to sleep with him because she has religious reasons. She wanted to be celibate until she got married a husband. So they hurried up and got married quickly. And they started having children.
See how powerful that is?
And
that's the power. Y'all think y'all that's how power. Use your power for goodness, ladies, not evil.
Well, I think she was trying to by snatching
up. I'm just saying, that's just a sidebar.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I'm just letting women know how that this dude will propose for that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But I mean, that meant she was probably the visual woman of his dreams.
Right. He wanted to be with sleep. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she should run. I'm telling you right now, that ain't gonna ever work. She gonna be mad later on.
I did not like Anthony. I thought it was messy of Anthony to say that he felt like Christina should be singing, and he knows that. Like, why would you do that? That was messy.
That was messy.
That's him being messy. He being sneaky and sly, and because all I do is plant something in her head. Well, Anthony does music, and he says he wants to see me being a star, and he knows that Brandon don't want that. That was planting a seed of doubt.
Better stop meddling in people's houses like that, man. Man, that's dangerous territory.
Yeah. That was bad. That was I was like, Anthony is being messy, just like everybody said. He is doing it. He is definitely doing the messiness.
Especially if her husband is on a different type of. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, that could turn that could go a total different way. If his wife, Marriott said Anthony is messy in every scene. Kimberly is messy. And every scene that we've seen her in so far.
Who is this? The other one? It's a few of them. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I like this show a little bit better. I don't know why, because I don't know why. I just do.
You like it better than Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Yeah, because these people get a little bit more spunkier.
They're younger, and they're from the D.
Right.
They're from the D. They definitely are spunkier. Kimberly, whose husband is Marcel, I'm not a fan of Kimberly. I feel like she is a plant sent here to try to be basically make it harder on Christina. It just, I mean, I don't like her because she didn't reach out. What?
Right.
And then Kimberly said you didn't reach out, and they could be acting. But I'm just saying, even if you are acting, if you're sent here with the mission to be messy, then we don't like you.
We don't like you.
We don't like you.
Yeah, that's one of them situations they had a good time, but now everybody's sitting away. Who gonna call who first? And no one calls anyone. It's all ego.
Yeah, but I mean, like with the girls, like, I mean, if she don't call you, then don't talk to her. Who cares?
There it is.
I mean, can you imagine if one of my friends did not call me, and then I'd be like, well, you know what? She hasn't called me, so forget her, and then I have this anger towards her because she didn't. What?
I see it. You've never seen that before?
I don't. I guess I just don't. I'm a Libra. We click off real fast. So
I've seen it or she didn't acknowledge this, or I've seen it with that, and I've seen it with birthday parties. That birthday party thing is serious. I didn't know it was that serious with women.
What do you mean?
I had a party, and somebody might have been out the country. You didn't show up, or I did this for your party, and I showing up to people's birthday parties is serious.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I try my darndest because I'm always been very busy. I'm not as busy now as I used to be. I used to be very busy. Like I worked.
You're a busy person
all the time. So I try not to have friends that are petty like that because I'm gonna miss some birthdays. I'm gonna miss. I mean, not now as much, but back then I'll be like, girl, I'm about to be out of the country or in LA or.
And then I don't want to put your personal or personal scenarios that could happen, because I don't know if they ever happen. But I've also seen it in situations where you did this with her, y'all went there. How come I didn't get an invite? That's a big one too.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen that. I have had friends like, if they see you out with somebody else, they'll leave a little smart comment on there, but I don't be paying those no attention. I don't like the petty friends. If you're a petty friend, we can't be friends because life is too short for that. And at the end of the day, we all have. I'm the type of friend, like one of my best friends I probably haven't talked to in a long time. But when we do, we pick back up. She knows I love her. I hope she knows. And I mean, man, life is short. And we all have families and children and jobs and responsibilities and stuff. Like, come on.
Believe it. You better believe it.
I'm not the type of friend that if we don't talk all day, every day, I don't want to talk I work. So when you go to work, if you work 8 hours a day, who wants to talk on the phone another hour? I don't know. I'm not that type of friend. So I don't understand all this. Like, well, she didn't call. If she didn't call, she don't want to talk to you. Leave her alone. That's not a reason to get mad at her. Just assume that she don't want to and keep it moving.
They're busy. People are busy.
Okay, girl. She got 2 little kids and a crazy husband. She can't call you. She can't call you, Kimberly. She got a crazy husband that doesn't want to lead. Her husband doesn't want to be a husband, and she got 2 little girls, and then he got, come on, man.
Wow, it's crazy.
So the only other, Bravo and his wife, we don't know them that really well yet. I don't know how to make, how to.
You could tell they knew.
Well, yeah, but we do know that he's cool with the other guys because he was brought on the show last year. But him and Lakita, I don't know. I know Kimberly is doing the most. I'm over Kimberly. I'm over it. Anthony, it's funny. What do you think about Anthony's wife? What do you think about Anthony's wife? Because Brandon and Christina, Russell and Colby, Latoya, that's what Latoya. She seems so calm compared to Anthony's this.
Hey, hold on. Which one is she?
She's a doctor. She has her doctorate.
That's why. That's why.
Elaborate.
I just think she's this
more mature.
Yeah, and I think she doesn't want to embarrass herself on television.
She don't.
Those doors when no cameras there, but I think she's very aware of how this could look. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sonny says Latoya is not really reality TV material to me. She's calm, level-headed, and got real things going on. Trust.
There you go.
I agree. I believe that she is constantly, which she would have to be because she does work. And I believe she's like the bigger provider because she has a serious position. Anthony works in entertainment and he has the nonprofit with the man's movement. He has a nonprofit there, but I do know he does entertainment as when I knew Anthony here, he was doing like working on movies and stuff, but he had to move there because of it challenging the marriage. I don't know specifically what happened, but I do know that if you're married and you're in Detroit, you do not want your husband living in Atlanta. This ain't the place for him to live.
Because that's a different type of move. Going to sunny skies, the gray skies. Woof. And
it's popping. And then you call home and the boys are there. And then she's a pastor's kid. What do you think of the fact that all 3 women are pastor's kids?
Interesting, right?
Very much so.
A lot of churches in the D.
Churches and liquor stores.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. But you know what they say about the women that, young women that grew up in church. So,
but I think it's like, to me, I think that these men, because all the guys are not from the church, right? I think there's this idea that a pastor's kid, especially these women, because they all are college educated,
Mm-hmm.
that it's the prize. And I know a lot of women, a lot back from the Midwest, because that's where I'm from, is really close to there. There's the idea of like the street dude getting with the good girl and that being the best possible connection, because she kind of gives him some structure to his business, and then he can respect her, because the girls that he was running the streets with, he's not going to respect.
But let me ask you, do you think, because I started to think about that, thinking here and up there, and how the dating, it's a lot of it up there. Do you think that's the thing too?
What do you mean, a lot of what?
Like a lot of those type of guys up there. So you run into them more frequently than you would run into another church guy from church, because he's probably married.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I see a lot of women with the good jobs and more up there that get with more of the regular guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to find their equal, and then they're complaining that they're single. The women up there don't complain that they're single, because
Right.
they will date the blue collar guys even though they're in a corporate job.
That's true, but I think it's the culture too. I
Right.
think that, like you see, like, you know, a friend of mine was a doctor. She's from Philly. She was dating a street dude. Like the culture is very much like, and you could be in the same home. In my house, I was a straight A student, and my brother was definitely not. You know what I mean? And my cousins, you know, like they, you know, it's just there's not as much opportunity there. So I think girls are always going to do better wherever they are, just because that's how things are. It's a little harder on men, but the culture is some very, very smart. I do think that having your own as a woman is a little bit more pushed there. You don't really meet a lot of women from the Midwest or East Coast that are just trying to live off of men, at least not our generation.
Okay.
It was pushed to like get yours, right? Get your degree, get your job, get your this. And when I came to the South, a lot of Southern women were more into like, what do I do for my husband? Like, I'm trying to get a husband and take care of him. Where a lot of women where I'm from were like, I got to get mine. So when they get theirs, then they end up usually partnering with someone that is not their financial equal, but may make them feel protected.
Yeah, I can see that. And a lot of them go back and reach back to the dudes that they grew up with.
Yeah, and I can see that too.
That they grew up. It might not be the dude, but the type of guy. You see what I'm saying?
Familiar. It's familiar. Absolutely. I can see that. And I don't think there's anything wrong, as long as, like, Russell's a good example.
Okay.
Russell is a guy that, you know, didn't necessarily grow up the same way, but he's about his business. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All except Brandon. Except Brandon. Anthony is doing his thing. You know, he didn't grow up the same way as LaToya, but you could tell he's very, very ambitious. Russell is extremely ambitious and turned his life around. You would think he had been a Christian and doing all that his whole life, but he wasn't. Brandon is still finding himself.
See how, so we do the percentage, and obviously the other one wins outside, not Brandon, but in some cases it's helpful.
Yeah.
Dudes need a little guy. They don't know, or women, how they say women multiply. You know, I mean, the only
Add to, yeah.
and you know, some dudes see this. I see it, and until somebody started bringing it to my attention, and I started to think about all the women I know, I was like, wow, they really do. Like, they really. I don't know how. Maybe that's the actual black girl magic or woman magic they talk about. I guess
it is.
Because sometimes I'd be like, how this, you know what I'm saying? But it happens. And I think a lot of men could take a page from the book, especially if you're not as because they're not as distracted as we are.
Especially when they're younger. Like, I think especially like
that kills
yeah.
young men a lot of times. It's the you know, hormones and girls, but then it's the streets.
Yeah.
these things, and then it's just a lot. And I envy the brothers that go through it. I love that that went through it, because those are the real tough guys.
Yeah.
Those real, because they didn't get distracted by that. So when you see those guys, and I see them now on my social media page, a lot of guys, some of the guys I grew up with, because a few of them ain't here, but some of the ones that are successful, and I think back now, I was like, yo, you know what? They were the tough guys. They were the strong mentally. They didn't get pulled away from hustling in the streets and joining this or being associated with that, and stayed on course. And they lived in the same buildings we lived in, and the whole thing. So I love that. But the women didn't pay attention to them. So the other guys gravitated to what the women paid attention to.
I was gonna say, because honestly, if we're being honest, I'm honest on both sides. For women, it's always been attractive to be smart, right? And be now. Sometimes the cool girl is loud and can fight, but for the most part, women, it's always been women. A mother will teach her daughters to get theirs, right?
Okay.
I will say that a lot of times the women are attracted to the bad boys when they're younger. So you see the guy that's got the flashy car and the flashy status, and a lot of times the good girl is attracted to him. So it makes sense that the pastor's kid would be from the guy around the way, because the culture suggests, my son told me this. I told you that. He was like, Mom, girls don't like smart. They like swag. And I was like, and then he told me, Mom, if we were in high school together, you would never have dated me. And do you know how hurt I was when my baby told me that? I was super hurt.
Damn it.
He probably was telling the truth. But yes, I wanted to ask. So let's talk about what the guys do. So all the women are pastors' kids.
Right.
Colby and Christina are both influencers, which we talked about earlier today. Latoya is like she has her PhD in the medical field, so she's like a sports. I think she's like a doctor, what's it called when you're
physical therapist?
Not a physical therapist, but the something like that, something like a physical therapist, but has her doctorate, right? So she also owns a wine label, a wine company. She started last year, the year before, whenever we first met them. And then Anthony, which Sunny Rain has asked, Anthony, it was in entertainment. He actually was working at Disney Marvel, but I knew he was doing a lot of independent movies and producing them when he was here in Atlanta. A little bit of music as well. That's kind of how we met. And then he does that there in Detroit. Because I remember when he left, he had called me about a project that he was working on in Detroit, an independent project there. And then he also has a nonprofit for his men's movement. So it's mostly entrepreneurial. When he was here, he was working for Disney Marvel, but still as a contractor, bringing added value there. So he's doing that there, but it's definitely not the same as it is here in Atlanta. Atlanta's just booming with music and movies. We know that Russell owns a gym, and that he also went and got his degree in divinity so he could be a pastor. So he really just leveled up in all areas. He seems like a very astute businessman. Anthony is in entertainment. And the problem with Anthony is that he has Brandon. I'm sorry. Brandon. Anthony is entertainment. Brandon is in entertainment and music solely. And the problem with Brandon is that he has had inappropriate relationship with one of his artists. And then he started that again. It was inappropriate. It maybe wasn't a full affair, but it was just inappropriate. You talking crazy to your wife while dealing with your artist. So he wants to develop artists. He had a company that was like Star Factory or something like that, where he would be putting together beats and developing artists. And I just don't know if Detroit is the place for that. But we also don't know how much success he's had at that. Obviously, he wants to do that. He's done it for a long time, but I just, we'll see. We will see. Thank you for watching earlier. I had a conversation with the two of the guys from Johnson earlier. Thank you for watching that. And everyone that was in that room, thank you so much. Yes, Anthony was really hurt that he had to leave Atlanta. We talked about that in the interview, but I give him kudos for making the decision to prioritize his family, because at the time that he realized if he didn't go back, he could possibly lose his family. He got up out of here, and he ain't came back since. You know, he comes back to do business, but he doesn't stay long. He carries his behind right back to Detroit. So I feel like that's what you should do, man or woman. If something has the potential to jeopardize your family, you let it go.
Absolutely. I've seen people when they're truly in love, or really want to be with that person or stay with that person, that they will do what's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Their heart is still, they will do what's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the catch when people are like, well, they're not doing. I don't think that in that person's, it's not necessary for them. Their heart is not in it no more. And maybe it was at one point, but not no more.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Now, how do you figure that? Because it's hard to look at someone. I was trying to figure this out. Like, if someone's been married for 11 years, it's a really long time, right? And then for him to say, at this point, it almost seems like, and I think I told him that when I interviewed him, it's hard to understand how they've been married this long, because he seems so unhappy, and he seems unhappy about things that should have came up in year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't seem to really like Christina.
The look of it. When I seen guys staying it too long, is usually for one other reason. Like one of our friends, the initial JJ. I'm just like, because they're messed up. They can't really afford to leave by themselves.
Hey.
I've seen that a few times, and like, yo, why aren't you? Because when you got it together and you whatever, and you don't want to be there, you can be like, well, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you make that decision. But when you don't, or when you can't,
You'll stay around.
Why this person keep putting up there? And it's usually tied to they can't.
But like somebody said, he's just wasting time and hers. Wasting her time studying right. I agree. He's just wasting. I mean, she's wasting good years.
Not gonna get blessed for that. Because you're not only holding up your life, you're holding up someone else's life. You think you're gonna be rewarded for that?
And then the babies, like the little girls, eventually when it happens, they're gonna be more hurt, because children, I'm a big believer in, if you know you're not right, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
But staying in there, and you know you're not gonna make it. You're staying in there for that situation, and then you're gonna end up leaving or doing something that's gonna hurt the mother, which is gonna cause the children to deal with that.
You said he's back at his mother's house, right?
He's back at his mama's house.
Now, if he had the bread, you think he'd be there?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm betting on that.
When you said there was a difference between a good man and a man in a good situation, so you give the man the money and the means, and see what he does.
Thank you. That's just the same as somebody said to me one time. It's like, yo, give a woman $500 and see what she do with it. Give her $1,000, see what she do with it. That you live with. If she ain't buy nothing for the house and put in something for the house, leave her. I mean, you could buy your little perfume or whatever, but you ain't invest nothing in your house. A spoon, a drape, nothing. I gave you $1,000. I read a scratch off and I got $2,000. I gave my lady $1,000 and I got $1,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm already paying all the bills, but you ain't put nothing in the house.
That's a good point. Hey, if anybody out there wants to give me $1,000, they could add, because I'm trying to buy us a new bed, so I could use a couple thousand for that. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's my main goal. Is we're renovating our bedroom, and I have an idea of the bed I want. I need a little over 1,000 to add to what I have to get the bed that I want. So, yeah. Just saying. Just saying. But that's a good point. I never thought about that. Does she want to add to what? Because I'm telling you, a lot of these now, unfortunately, men out there, Men of the XO family,
What up? What up, fellas?
a lot of women are not going to buy anything for the house. A lot of them are going to go get their hair done.
Watch, you just watch. If she bought a spoon,
Spoon.
air
Flatware.
fryer, something to the house, you give her like watch. We're not saying birthday money. This is like rent. We're not saying birthday. We're not saying that.
Say we both hit a lick. We hit a lick, babe.
I get a scratch off $2,000. I let her know. I give it to her because trust me, if she hit for scratch off, you'd be lucky to get $200. She might not even tell you. She'd be like, I hit for $500.
Not the right woman. Not the right woman. I would definitely give it to Adrian, and I would also want him to go have fun. He probably, well, you can't get with that. I was like, I know he wants one of those what are them the things called that men drive around and it looks like a it's like a it's like a four-wheeler, but it's on the slingshot. He wants a slingshot. I would get him a slingshot if I had enough.
A friend of mine was gonna, and he saw it. He wound up selling it. If I would have known, well, if Adrian could have got it, he sold it now. Anyway.
Well, that ain't helping me now, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he was looking for one.
He wants a slingshot so bad. If I win the lottery or win a scratch off, I would go get my baby a slingshot because he's so happy with it. I know, but he rented one and he loved it and he was just excited. He and his friend were just driving the streets of Atlanta in it. It gave him lots of joy. I don't want a slingshot, but if he wants a slingshot, I don't care.
I can see that.
Yeah, he loves a slingshot. But I mean, I think that where your treasure is, there is your heart, right? According to the Bible, like where your treasure is, there's your heart. So if you give someone some money that is and they don't think of you or they don't think of the home, chances are they may be a little self-centered. And that's probably not the best quality in a significant other, but there are a lot of people that are like that.
That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that's one of the things that you can kind of gauge. And I think before you get married, you want to look at things like that. I want to ask you a quick question, and the audience really quickly before we get ready to get out of here tonight on Friday. So we're looking at Love and Marriage Huntsville versus Love and Marriage Detroit.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, like last week we talked about like Melody and Martell being like the Brandon and Christina. The only reason I don't know if I see that is because I don't really see, like, as of yet, a star couple on Love and Marriage Detroit. I felt like on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Melody and Martell, initially the first seasons, you guys think back to the first season, I think they were obviously the star couple of the show.
I do see it.
You see Brandon and Christina being the star couple?
Not them, though, but I just see them storyline wise.
Okay, I agree with the storyline. Who do you see as being the star couple?
What's the woman that's pregnant? I'm sorry.
Colby and Russell.
Colby and Russell. I like Russell. I think the ladies like Russell. I like Russell just because he just seems honest and pure. He's willing to help. This is a guy that he's a helper, and just with her and the baby situation, I think people will gravitate to them and their story. So I would say, to me, I would say them right now.
Yeah, I just don't see any standout star couple on this show. I feel like they're all kind of the same. They're all kind of like, they all seem like the Tisha Marceau, like they all seem like that. I do think the Brandon and Christina's relationship storyline is going to end up like Melody's and Martell, because I would wager Brandon is just not happy with her, and he's probably looking to do, I just don't trust him. I don't trust that he's been trustworthy at all. I don't think he likes the situation. I think it's unfortunate that he's waited 11 years. I like Russell, but I think the woman dictates the personality of the couple, right?
Okay.
And I don't think any of the women on this show have really strong personalities to where they could be like a melody.
Yeah, I don't see that. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I just don't. I think they're all supporting cast, and unfortunately, I feel like he brought in even more supporting cast.
No star power. No, none of that energy. Like okay, I got
I don't get from Marcel and Kimberly or Bravo and his wife. I just don't get that I'm gonna be the scene stealer.
Right.
I think that the women in Detroit are very pretty.
Do you think you have to be messy as a woman to do that if you say the woman leads?
I think you have to have a very strong personality. I don't necessarily think you have to be messy. I think it just takes a very strong personality. And I think these women, and they're younger, but it could be that it's the PK in them. That's a good point, Marriott. I don't know that they're more subdued and more submissive, but
You know why? Because we ain't seen a real Detroit chick in there. Have you had? Let's say Cash Doll was in there.
facts.
You see what I'm saying? Because when
Facts.
I see Detroit, and you talk about Detroit women, give me my Detroit women because I know
I did not expect. I'm not gonna lie. When they said Love and Marriage Detroit, I was like, oh snap.
right. Same thing. How we looking for Philly and the other
And Ready to Love. I'm thinking like, oh, I think it's going to. There's definitely going to satisfy with Philly and Ready to Love just because it's Philly. Kenya Moore is from Detroit. Exactly. Beautiful, smart.
There you go.
Very strong personality.
Good. That's a good one.
Perfect. That's what I was expecting. Face cards don't decline because they more focused on the face than the body and all that. But I don't know. I understand what you're saying, Kanisha, as far as like I don't like the people acting out for fame, but I do think that it's necessary to have somebody that, like when I think of Love and Marriage Detroit, I just think of the picture of all of them. And I think pretty.
Right. They are.
But I don't see like if even with Christina and Brandon in this very uncomfortable marriage place, I'm not getting anything from her that says I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm gonna take care of it on my own. Melody, that's what I got. I feel like last season, Christina was almost begging Brandon to be in the relationship.
Mm.
She was like, she doesn't want to be divorced.
You think that has to do with the church background?
It could. There could be, but I mean, and that's also weird. Like, how did we end up with all of 3 or 4 of the same type of people? I feel like not Kimberly, but Colby and Christina are kind of like a carbon copy of each other.
Possibly. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't see a lot of diversity there.
So maybe, we're looking at all the same personality. No one's. I got you.
I'm just like, y'all are all arguing over somebody didn't call you and somebody had a Samsung. Girl, bye. And then on the other hand, in Huntsville, people taking people's husbands. Hide your husbands. Sonny is coming for him.
So they're not stirring the pot enough for you. They stirring it on some bullshit.
It's just like it's perfunctory and it's just trying to do drama for no reason. I don't like it.
Gotcha.
And I also feel like maybe they don't have as much personality. I don't know. Like sometimes
I could say that. I could see that. Yeah. I don't see it on that's even the men. Well, yeah, nobody really does.
It's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess it could be that we're used to. Now I will say this to their point. Detroit, the classy people in Detroit are very different than the non-classy, right? So maybe they and I hate to think that for reality TV you need the drama, but you need somebody willing to be authentic. And I don't see
Detroit. The D.
Yeah.
Whoa, pause. That sounds crazy right now. Oh,
No Diddy.
whoa,
No Diddy.
that
No
sounds
doubt.
yeah, but yeah, let me see Detroit. Like I just one. I don't need a whole cast.
Yeah, just somebody to get, and I really want that person. That person could be a nice person. I just need to laugh. I don't laugh when I watch this show. I never laugh.
I come in there with some buffs on. I used to come in there with a mink. Come on now, give me
Come
Detroit.
on, give me the Gators.
Yeah, show me Detroit now.
It's not it. It's not happening. Carlos, what up though? What up? Like, what are we doing? I don't see it. I don't like it. You guys talking about Bell Collective. We'll talk about that later. That's a whole nother. We will get into that later. But I just think that it is not a lack of drama. It's lame drama. I'm not gonna fight with you over a phone. And if you guys are fighting over phones, and these women are in their 30s, like they're not in their 20s. So in your 20s, but I don't think we're used to toxic and dysfunction because they're toxic and dysfunctional. It's just boring.
Stuff.
I think that we could have personality. I want to see what Christina really thinks about her husband. Is he providing? What do you think about him saying he don't want to lead? What do you think about that, Christina? For real.
Right.
What's the reality of what you think? What do y'all think about that? Stop trying to keep it cute.
But do you think it's because of what we always talked about these reality shows? Once you see how it goes on the show, they're doing everything to try to, they're micromanaging themselves and not being authentic.
They are. They absolutely are. But that makes for bad TV.
But that's why I said in the opening scenes, the guys coming in, hey, so you were just in the neighborhood. It was just seemed so like he had a script. It don't seem natural.
Now there's one more Love and Marriage. It's DC. And we haven't started that one. That one we may, I don't know, we'll see. Now that one's a little bit more turned up. A little bit more turned up. And in fact, fun fact, Mo, one of the couples on Love and Marriage DC used to be from Ready to Love.
You know what? You did say that. You did say that before.
Joy and Clifton.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. And definitely DC is more turned up. The people are more our age. They turned up.
Okay.
They are more turned up. You don't have the same personality. You got DJ Quicksilver and his wife. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. I saw, you know what? I saw maybe the last 20 minutes of a reunion and they
They gets it in. We'll check that out. Joda says Brandon is the reason you don't date. He has potential Negro ninjas. Baby, you need to be fully potential when you get to me because I don't want no man that don't want or know how to lead. I think that you not only need to not date potential, but I think you also need to women. And then I'll let Mo speak to the reason for the men. When you meet someone from out of town, stop falling in love with these people that you haven't actually seen in action. It's all on what they tell you. Please stop. I don't have a problem with people dating outside, dating long distance. I think that's a good thing. But you can't assume that what he tells you, a relationship and a man's worth is based on what he does, divided by what he says. By what he says, divided by what he does. And if you have no point of reference on what he does, ma'am, sir, please, you cannot know a person based on what they say. If you take everything a man says and never gauge it against his actions, and you're asking to be scammed. You're asking to be scammed.
That's a fact.
So, Mo, what do you think the lesson is in there with Brandon and Christina meeting on Twitter?
I just think, brother, man, just any man, period. Even if you don't get it now, believe me, and the older you get, and you hopefully you're dating women in your age bracket, they're going to sniff out a leader very quickly. You know, It's very clear. It's nothing wrong with sitting your, and it's not going to take long. If you can't lead your own life, you damn sure ain't going to lead you and her. And she can see how she's moving. The part of it is you have a program. We all have a program. And she's watching what you do with your program.
Yeah.
You know, why would she want to sign up for that? You don't even like it. But because you think she's attractive or you want some sex or whatever the case may be, and maybe you could turn it around. If you ain't turned it around by yourself, because one day your wife is going to lean on you for something. For something.
And if you're a dad,
God forbid, hopefully you're referring to a dad somewhere else, because hopefully she's not making babies with this guy that's not.
Well, Christina did. They have 2 girls.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And she asked the daughters, what do they want to do? And I feel like the cameras, they probably encourage them to do that. And I think that's horrible. I think that's negligent. I don't think you ever put children in that position. That was unfortunate. And if the production asked them to do that, shame on production.
I respect that. That's right.
Shame on production. So, well, Mo, what do you have planned for this weekend? We know you had your great date last weekend. I doubt any woman is going to ever top that date.
That's the best date I had. I still got a smile on my face.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Be honest with you, I don't know. I might be. I was helping someone move today out of a mansion, a super big mansion, biggest house I've ever been in. Helping someone gather some stuff and move. I might be doing it tomorrow morning too. I don't know.
Are you getting paid for this move, or you just offering your services?
I did, but they still cashed at me.
Okay.
I mean, when I tell you this is a big house in Marietta, like it's a big older house, and it was older people that lived there, like very, very old. But I saw old VCRs.
Oh wow!
I think they used to own a boutique or something. I saw mannequins, and it was the biggest. She might have been the Black Liz Taylor.
Oh, that's cool.
Furs and crown hats and in a long closet about as long as, like, this was a humongous house.
Nice.
And somebody inherited the house.
Okay.
And they trying to get it to sell it because they don't really want it. But the house, I think it said the house was worth like $5 million. Yeah.
Well, that's out of my pay grade.
It was like I've been in some big cribs, but this one was, I wouldn't want it. That made me not want big houses, because it was much. It was spooky, and they had one room that was full of dolls, like dolls.
And you know what? A friend of mine said that he went over to date this girl, and she had dolls all over the.
I didn't date her. I was with a woman, and grandmother went to the casino in Biloxi. Don't ask me why we was in her grandmother's room, but she had all these dolls.
For dating diaries, we will save it.
Okay. Spooky.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Spooky.
I've heard that. My granny used to collect. Well, my granny didn't really collect dolls, but I think one of my great aunts did. I remember seeing dolls, not some dolls, collectible dolls, that kind of had the eyes that do like this.
I don't like.
Oh man, we hope you guys are going to have an amazing weekend. I do not think I'm going to go to TLC is pulling out in the morning to go to Huntsville. I don't think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to go hang out with Zuri this weekend. Zuri is in training.
Okay.
And so I think I'm going to go hang out with her for a little bit this weekend and get ready for next week. Now, remember, we will not be here on Wednesday of next week because I will be, my birthday actually is Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday, or maybe, you know what? I think we will be here Wednesday. Hold on. Let me look at my calendar. Let me get my calendar. Hold on, guys. Okay. So no, I will not be here Wednesday. I will be here Wednesday. We will be here Wednesday for Dating Diaries. We will not be here for the recap on next Friday.
Gotcha.
Wednesday is the 2nd, so that's not my birthday. My birthday is the day after, but I think we should have a birthday party. We should have a birthday party. Yes. We should have a birthday party for Dating Diaries. It should be fun because my birthday is the following day. And the following day after that, I don't know you people for 4 or 5 days. I will talk to y'all when I get back. I'm going to spend time with my man. Yes.
There you go. And thank you for everybody checking on us with the weather here in Atlanta. I got a lot of DMs, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I bet you did.
You want to know how, they hit? I was like, the news made it way more worse than
It did. It wasn't really that, but I did get a few people that reached out, which I appreciated. But the news scared me. I was like, what's about to happen? What's happening?
Outside it was sunny. It was 70 something degrees.
Yeah, nothing happened. We didn't even have, I think our trash cans blew over. That's about it. But all good. We stayed safe. God kept us safe. Thank God for that. We do want to send out just prayers to all the people a lot of people lost power. There are a lot of people that got hurt in the storm. And I think North Georgia, a different area in Georgia than we are. So hopefully they'll have their power and there won't be any more fatalities or issues. I always think storms and things like this just remind us of the power of God and that we are not that. And so it just kind of humbles you and reminds you of the difference between us and a higher power. Yeah. We thank all of you all for reaching out. We thank you for watching and hanging out with us tonight. Make sure that before you leave, you just hit that like button.
Please.
If you've already hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't be here and not subscribe. Come on now.
Be there Monday for
Pop Culture Power on Monday.
8 o'clock.
Tuesday is Let's Get Crystal Clear. It's going to be a good week because it's my birthday week. It's my birthday week and my man's birthday week. So we are celebrating all week. But Monday is Pop Culture Power. Tuesday, Let's Get Crystal Clear. And then Wednesday is Dating Diary. So hopefully we'll see you all 3 days. We love you for watching and have a beautiful and blessed weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Be safe, y'all.